जीवन के इस भागदौड़ में सभी परिस्थितियां हमेशा अनुकूल रहती है और परिस्थितियां हमेशा बनी रहती है हमारे जीवन में। तो आज हम पढ़ेंगे इस बुक को, थ्योरी ऑफ कुकरी। जानेंगे हम कुकिंग के बारे में। ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट इंट्रोडक्शन टू कुकरी। Definition: cookery. Definition: cookery is defined a chemical process, the mixing of ingredients, the applications and withdrawal of heat, decision making, technical knowledge and manipulative skill in the more advanced stage. A per elements exist that with creativity, cookery or coincide to be both an art and technology. ओके, समझा आपने? फूड प्रिपरेशन इज द मॉडर्न ड्रीम ऑफ प्रोफेशनल कुकरी. इट्स denotes preparation and the cooking. It follows the flow patterns which communicates with the purchasing and selection in the material. Their handling, processing and the elements presentations of the dishes of the customers, where our food service takes over in French. The word cuisine denotes the art cooking, preparing dishes and the place, the kitchen in which they are prepared. The origin of cooking. The art of the cooking is ancient. The first cook was primitive man who had put the chunks of meat close of the fire, which is the had it warm himself. The disturbed that meat handled it was not well tasty, but it was also much easier masticated. From the moment in undercooked post cooking has evolved, reached the present level of sophistication. Class of professional cookery. There are their class of professional cookery associated with the craftsmen, and they are granted according of the quality of the materials used. The class R. Class R. Cuisine simple. A plain cookery where the basic necessities used and craftsmen product to dishes of the highest standard possible with minimum number of material. Cuisine brigades. Middle class cookery is the type of cookery provides better material and the hands of these craftsmen. This material produce more competitive dishes of the better quality. Cuisine haute or high cookery where are the very best possible materials are used. The craftsmen use these materials. There are best advanced and produce dishes of the best quality. This class products high complexity. This is the classical dish for professional cookery. The class is popular. Okay, in Indian cuisine are the two class, simple and high class. Simple cookery is confined the preparation of the everyday practical typical dishes. These are prepared quite simply and are very popular. The high class cookery is a wide range of variety in the expensive material are used to prepare completed it and the Elizabeth dishes. Mughlai dishes being in the most popular once in India. Mughlai dishes once in India. Okay, stop. A career of the food service industry in our capacity can be particularly demanding of the employees, and individual should be willing in terms of effort, the learn of the skill involved. Okay, personal qualities that is a chef needs the domestic in the capacity is work are given in table. Attitude, reliability. So cooperation, willingness, initiative, interest, creativity, curiosity, detection, honesty, sense of humor, discipline. Discipline हमारे जीवन में जरूरी है और हम किचन लाइन में डिसिप्लिन रखते हैं. An individual has the competency in terms of the effort and should be willing to learn to skill involved. A chef may find himself or herself working old shift, old trims, add trims, and one add days. The motivation to secure the interest within the individual. The staff working in the kitchen should be avoid stress, economizing all the moments, combine task simultaneously, planning and organizing activities well, the advanced anti-creative in the practice and deficiencies, simplicity task where the possible. Okay. The person planning should be familiar with the safe property technology and the handling food and equipment. He should be in illicit reliably help for simply with order and cost on increase and expenses accuracy. Okay. Contamination of the food and the largely possible when the bacteria, mold, and yeast are present in the environment. Both management and employees catering establishment have a responsibility to the public in ensure high standards of personal hygiene and hygiene. Okay. Of food and equipment, the establishment should be obsessed health and hygiene regulation or catering operation to prevent food and the conversion hygiene of the food handle and the hygiene of the kitchen, the equipment and hygiene food storage rules should be overseen. Okay. Personal hygiene is the very important for food. Personal hygiene is very important in the food. The staff should be wear harness, steam, restoration should be looked after, compatible shoes should be and worn nails, okay. Cut and hands washed with every form if soapy. हैंड को वॉश करना जरूरी है, हाथ को साफ रखना जरूरी है, नाखून छोटे होने चाहिए, जूते चप्पल सब अच्छे होने चाहिए, अगर हम कुछ कर रहे हैं तो सब हाथ धोना जरूरी है. Cut and should be with the before holding foods over visiting the toilet after eating and smoking. Smoke करते हो तो हाथ धोना जरूरी है. Difference between the professional and amateur is that professional is cookery involves that only skill and knowledge, but also in aptitude for the fine cooking. प्लीज चैनल सब्सक्राइब करें. अब हम पढ़ेंगे culinary history. Today, second part of culinary history. French cuisine, French cuisine. It is a recognized the world one the finest cuisine. The French are now that there is altitude temperature and also there is the cuisine. History of the French cuisine. At the end of the Morganisation period in the converts which had previously the traditional of the governments including French, it was the beginning of culinary art. Bollywood tutu soup. In the course of this studies and said this kitchen where large and the high speed roasting was the common dishes are cooked on the first itself on over in the 12th century for preparing the roast from the 14th century. Sexes are the most appreciated part of the culinary art. Menu was varied which including games, fish, fowl, butcher is meat, vegetables were featured less. It's the end of 16th century. Italian cooks, pastry cooks were employed the though and preparing name number of dishes which since then remain in the French reputation. French reputation is cancellation review genetics in French cuisine dishes. In the 17th century is the 18th century, royalty and the high-ranking people took great interest in the food and the cooks in greatly remind dishes after they with the cook. During the fairs, banquets where the honorary and appreciate if food is good is something. What wrong the where the favorite in front and the guest and the confused in the fusion. This is the convert which punch it's become popular. Okay. Since of the end of the 19th century, French culinary art is the reached in the highest point of the perfectionist class. Chefs we acoustic and professional skills in the published cooks in the cooking and visit the prepares in the influences and in the north and the throat in the world. French contributions of the international culinary reported will be now the has boasted her own names of the majority of dishes carrying or technical terminology of the international uses in the gastronomy style of regions of cooking or eating is the art with defined rules. The some a True, its appreciation for French cuisine, cooking, and low are quality similar with both where the telling a problem solve basic logic and reasoning. French cooking is the less complicated with the cooking of the grenades served with a more complex is what delighted flavor with are used spiritually just we are the plate if the are including in the discrete emphasis is laid of success and it even help in the sauce cookery. That's why every ingredient is the speak of the own language. When is the cooking enhance of the elastic with the universally flavor. This being a unique features of French cuisine that the most important role into use only the best ingredients and the proper blend on the cooler and taste. Ingredients of the grains is the garnish and accompaniments in the play a key role French cuisine and this is the independent of by them food items are cooked in the sauces that are accompanied. This is a roast beef is served with the every case pending is accompanied with the or which is the sauce. Great emphasis is laid to the preparation in the dishes and garnish and accompaniments in the make the dish colorful. Ingredients play is important roles of the has climatic awareness in the south of France. The Mediterranean had add flavor and ridges and the fruits, vegetable and herbs. In the northern region, the finished fish and the available in the catching preparation more mushroom and hard cheese is the popular. The wine or cooking come from the Bordeaux compression and the better that cooking better use the butter, olive oil or salad oil. This is are not grace but gives the lecture in the taste. Spanish spices and herb give it the spiritual flavor in the taste and ordinary. This is some of the spicy herb are the Crucially, clearly basic basil and the largam thames, rosemary, chivas, shallots, and alpes and the bay leaves, paprika, pepper on the nuts seeds. Popular continental vegetables are asparagus, atigrus, or carrot, turnips, and the asparagus and broccoli, sweet skill, and the cordon, broccoli, spiritual temperament, and mushroom eats. Vegetables are served with the main course and serve on of the accompaniments. That was the flair of the more meat. This is the add color and the menu and make them colorful. Vegetable are arranged each day. Subscribe my channel. Uh, Painter arranges the colors in the meal at the complete with the potatoes. The give either satisfies the value. They also accommodate the main dish. The main dish consists of the flesh food such a lamb, beef, whale, pork, chicken, tick, and turkey's fish. It's the fancy food and the should be in the best party. The cheese is the extensively used of the can be used a base of dish of the garnish and blend with soup. It is also spring cheat and top to dishes after bring grated cheese in the French menu from the separate separate course during the meals and college called performing in the French. Almost every region of the French is its own cheese and few popular cheese is the combined and not so certain food of brick eats. Red, red and white wines are used of the cooking wine is much more than just flavor again agent of use with the decoration. The give is a unmistakable free to at the simplicity. This was the recognition and marinates. It was traditionally the pour that there at the poke together and quit in the meat. Sauce have the quality is giving the contrast to blend with the ingredients, enhance taste, flavor, and give color of the dishes. Subscribe. Chinese cuisine. Chinese culture is the oldest civilizations of the world of in integrated history. They are the first discoveries for friendship and food, where the inexpressively lacked is the gathering without food is the constant, incorporate, and imperfect. 1,000 years before the birth of twist. They were already experimenting with this French cooking, recording the recipe with skill. Bamboo Chinese cuisine is the considered to be the best in the eastern part of the world. Feminism greatly ensued in the Chinese cooking. Adversity in the coast of the Chinese always is the few source of the food there are the head keen and the gastronomically of course cuisines sitting or not limited they are the put everything evil. Evil is the use of the wonderful siva veggies and extras of the plant with roots, plants with the roots, lily bulbs, cherry methysium petals, bamboo shoots, jasmine. It's the Chinese have a strong sense of the artistry, which the find inspiration in Chinese cooking. Every aspect of food taken into consideration on the plantability, texture, and the fragrance and color. Every dish has the given preparation, a blame, and harmony. Wow, nice balance of harmony. Okay, yeah, now the Chinese have a strong sense artists which is the inspiration for lemon. A few factors are common in Chinese and French cuisine. The French and Chinese are skillful, skillful cooks. Both seek and simplicity. There are the ultimate goal. The simplicity. The come with the art and delicacies. They are both recognized and second class ingredients can never produce first class dishes. Chinese cooking calls for maximum preparation of raw. चाइनीज जो कुकिंग करते हैं वो कच्चा पदार्थों का सेवन ज्यादा करते हैं. इंग्रेडिएंट्स एंड मिनिमम कुकिंग मेथड्स. Fukin. Fukin, that this is of the balance of communication and blend of color, flavor, texture, and simple and size. Technology of Chinese cooking. The Chinese shoot and steam, deep fry and roast with a difference cooking. Baking is really then stir fry the most popular method of the cooking. It is the similar of the shooting. What is done with the intent is that it's because of the short cooking. Some that is a fresh food if the be used and they are need to cooking time. The bay head still the gestic and the refreshing color texture and the currency and cut the beautiful and shapes it flavor and never sacrificed to appearances. It's a being of joy eating the ingredients are the combined and concept cold any ingredients against big ones dry dishes against the sea is the giving sweet and taste and the concept with the sour tasty they are consequences against smoking crispy tender vegetables and the sornated with the extremely smooth sauce and stimulate that since with consistent and taste. Okay, basic ingredients that given Chinese cooking is the character sushi and stable taste are soya sauce and the peanut oil, garlic and ginger roots and the pepper chili sauce, vinegar and the corn flour, noodles and sodium glutamate and bamboo shoots. When spoons are dry, stream shark is fin pork and him egg and it's okay. Basic the ingredients is usually or the combined and salad and well cooked with the battle size. This is the dishes at the was the choppist. For eating give or regional cuisine and the cuisine is the southeastern Kachun, Western Sichuan in the something called the Changqing, Northeastern Peking is something in the central Hunan and east coast of the Fokin. Constance of Southeast. The various regional cuisine we are the influenced by many facts. Such a continent is the was influenced with Western travels when the marinate they established Chinese restaurant outside of China. And Sanchung style. Shanghai, this Shanghai was the infused by the active art between packing and the Sanchung packing now called Beijing was the site in imperial race of the consideration health and in the more country based steps which broad cooking. Yes, broad cooking is the highest level. It's the head reputation in the mammoth paste in the banquets. Szechuan style. The preference is the hot, almost typically that food is the high spicy peppered and somewhat only deep fry and the popular chicken chili and fry Szechuan dark soya favorite dish is the reason. Subscribe, please. Acha, Hunan style. The Yellow River runs through is the Hunan province, which is the famous for is the Yellow River and the crop. It's known for just spicy, concentration, sweet and sour dishes and rich sensation. Fukin style. Fukin style food in the Chinese East Coast famous of the seafood and clear high soups. They are now there is quality wine is something to be used or the cooking. And Jinggong is the last representing the four major original cooking style of China. The cuisine of the Chinese divide the temperature of the heat and military high of force and medium and civil lower gentle and weak hard heat preparatory control of temperature and cooking time the key and success of fire high or fires heat is the usually used to quick the cooking and the crisp and tender cook difference heat for frying steaming institute in call of the high heat. Okay, medium or moderate heat. It can use the quick business stirring and boiling low and the gentle height. It's used of the slow cooking allows with the flavors of the painted throw is the throw in the ingredients which roasting and simmering with heat. It is used to the long cooking, the turning the hard ingredients to soft ones. It's used the simmering, braising, and stewing. Here is some completely commonly use the methods of the Chinese cooking. Once this one required and the two are their method, each will the produce or the difference with the effect. Uh, Chohun, quick or adept the boiling. This is simple cooking. The method is the often used the making the soup and brings the water soup bowl over high heat and the ingredients and since sowing thing is served with the soon in this soup revolves no reboils no thinking against the added and the vegetable will be crispy and the finish. Okay, fresh shown instant boiling the raising the theory in the self ingredients is dipped into boiling water for the second or two occasionally drenching is the raising the water served with the deep sauce the cooking method keep the ingredients fresh and tender or situating raising the flavor the little hot oil is the spring onion and the ginger roots then stir fry and ingredients for the short time no add soak the water and seasoning simmer with the four low height the food should be soft and tender hui brushing assembling is well the method of cooking this that is considered several different ingredients in the stir fry the ingredients of the first and stock or water and the simmering boil or the high heat for short will in the taken the giveaway before. Hi Riddhi, hi, how are you? Serving alternately prepare the give first then add the purely cooked ingredients deep fried in the steam. Cook over low heat taken the gravy and serve. When mixing the salad, they are the method that does not actually involve cooking but simply call for cutting. They are raw cooked ingredients and dressing with seasoning. During hot salad here the raw and ingredients though prepared and the blends is the this is seasoning that's well and so whatever salt sugar and sesame seed oil yarn packing the pickle the food with the salt and sugar which is the salt and wine this is prepared with the sea have vegetable fragrance and crepsiness. Okay, then solo frying is the fat button is the used with the little and the medium low and the seasoning is added to them food is helped on the pan the turn it from the time how during cooking the so that is a having just So the Chinese restaurant serve dishes which is the maximum style of the cooking and the contents with the most popular all over the world. The Szechuan being the second popular style. Okay. तो आज हम यहीं पे आपको बताना चाहेंगे कि अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब किया नहीं किया तो कर लेना। अब हम पढ़ेंगे आगे मिडिल ईस्टर्न क्विजिन। This is Middle East countries. The language is the Arabic and through and the region in the numerics in the variety that realizes the religion that is Islam of the various countries is the externally liquid culinary wise Middle Eastern cooking through and the sometimes elaborate easy and the sum of the dishes is stuffed with wine leaves for meteko. Someone the prepares a lamb, man or the favorite meat is chop, cheap and the cut and the meat and use the actually alcohol and not use wine. The Muslim definitely with low vegetable are used the ambusing wine leaf from pine in the buds, cabbage, vinea, okra, and the Latin chickpeas. Bitter herbs and the olive fig and the grapes and the raisins, grapes and almonds and externally use fish and the eastern widely along with the causality a dish for the king or coincide of the hot and cold meat rich jolly strawberry when the swim metal chicken and sweet and that of pures and some and the popular dishes of meat grilled on the spit meat fried in the butter with the sauce of the pudding made of the egg honey milk butter rich and sugary they can this is the consequences of the self motor. The pomegranate juice and served with the eggs, fuel and cooked with the spinach and vinegar, all kinds of game and the purity and the part of this cuisine meat usually in the merited is the yogurt and flavored with this almonds paste and popular jams with the made with the quincy dates and stuffed with the store fed with the almonds and walnuts and the pastries is such the baklava and kunafa are prepared. क्या आपने कभी बकलावा खाया है बकलावा या आपने कुनाफा खाया है कभी कुनाफा तो खा लीजिएगा अभी हम the concerts and the braghol with weight were the adopted in the most Middle Eastern countries. The activities of the cooking and eating the reflect money stability interest fact in Middle Eastern chair character is were left in the social activities the religion of Islam the most important part of Middle Eastern culture and the main foundation of the customer and traditional of the region. The following was the forbidden. Usually, animal the did of the before then the only the those killed for the then of food. Bird, chickpeas, and the forbidden that's the more alcohol in the promoting quality. When the animal the being the called the butcher will be have the say and the God most great and then cut and dots of halal and let the blade. No. Cooking fat used of where the alaya rendered it from safe lamb, nodi, black oil, ghee, shamna is butter and are used of the olivia, sesame and corn. A large variety and spicy used favorite combination of the spicy or herbs and the packet together and sold be quantity and use the cumin, coriander, cinnamon, ginger, and proper sivini and aniseed, sesame seed, ground coriander, fried and crushed and garlic. Another maximum is the cinnamon, nutmeg, or cloves and ginger for spicy the herbs and coriander leaves, dill leaves, mint leaves, cherries, oregano, and marjoram saffron is high presile Middle Eastern countries are Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Iran, Turkey, Greece, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Sudan, Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco. We find the common thread in the culinary style running through they all. The early Arabic Middle Eastern food can be found in the Bedouins dishes and the assistant inhabitants. The Middle East were proposing the high use civilian along the progress in development. Okay. Uh, came the highly accurate calendar traditional undoubtedly infused the Greek and Roman costumes because the invases and consecute. Australian and New Zealand cuisine. It is a fine cuisine. Took and the question is split and the requirement the. चलो अब हम कल पढ़ेंगे हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया और न्यूजीलैंड क्विज़न के बारे में। तो अभी हम यहाँ पे इस लाइव को करते हैं बंद। अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो कर लीजिएगा। फिर हम कल शुरू करेंगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया और न्यूजीलैंड की क्विज़न के बारे में। आज हमने पढ़ा चाइनीज क्विज़न के बारे में, फ्रेंच क्विज़न के बारे में, इंडियन क्विज़न के बारे में, बहुत सारी तमाम क्विज़न के बारे में। आई होप को आपको समझ में आया हो, लेकिन मुझे भी खुद समझ में नहीं आया। सो बाय बाय।